Good morning. Good morning. Good morning on a Sunday. Now, I've got a bit of a cheat here because this is not the monthly card kit. Before you get excited, this is not the monthly card kit. The monthly card kit is equally exciting, but I just wanted to show you the card that we did at Craft Workshop yesterday afternoon. Lots of lovely people joined me and we had a fantastic afternoon, and this is the card that I made, but I'm sure if you've been on the Facebook group you will have seen the cards that other people have made, and really great fun. And I just wanted to say to those people watching that this was the butterfly die set that you could get. So it was the dainty butterflies. Obviously we used those and the two little corner ones, or not corner ones, edge ones. However, that isn't the card kit, so I just wanted to bring that out to show you because I was rather pleased with that one. So this is the card kit. This is the monthly card kit that we've got, and we have got a little bit of choice for you between it all, but basically we are going to be making a smaller card, a 5x7 card today, and we are going to be, it's in there, we're going to be using this, which is the die set called Ariel, Frames and Tags, Ariel by Sue Wilson. It's not a new one. I seem to be going into the revamping the old ones just now, and this is one of those. It's a set of 4 dies. Oh, let's open it up. That's part of it as well that you're going to be using, but this is the one that you'll be getting in your kit. So you have got 4 dies, you've got an outer piece here, then this lovely well, lacy, holy, bubbly, I don't know, whatever you'd like to call it. Then you've got an inner one here, and then you've got a little one there. We're going to be using all 4 dies in the card today, so that is what you get. You will also get this selection of papers. Now these are from the Paper Boutique Perfect Partners, and it's called Mint Drops. You will get a pack of this, which is 6 sheets. So it's from this pad. You won't be getting the pad, although the pad is available as an extra if you would like it. We have had it before though. So this is a selection of them. Now I'm going to make it with the card stock in a turquoise and an ice blue, but it also goes really well with the lilac because it's got tinges of lilac and the ice blue in it. So you could use it with that. So that's what you'll be getting, a pack of all of that. You then also get a sheet of the ice blue and 3 sheets of the turquoise. So rather a lot of card there. So that's good. Shall I show you what we're going to be making? Here it is. So tucked inside get it around the right way. Tucked inside a 5x7 card blank, we have got this gorgeous card, which is not my design by any means. I've seen it a lot all over the internet, and I've picked bits and pieces, and in general I reckon they call it a bendy card, so that's what I'm going with. I've seen it predominantly with the lovely Sam Calcott from Mixed Up Crafts, and a few others that have really sprung to mind and inspired me, but this is my version of it. And when we say a bendy, this is what we mean. So we have got a 3-dimensional card which sits up like that, and then when we turn it around, we have got where we can write on the back all of our loving sentiments. But yeah, so you've got that at the back and you've got this at the front. I'm loving the font of this. This is, you will get this die cut out for you, ready to go. So thank you to Jane for doing all these for me. We've got this all ready. So put that together. So that is thinking, and certainly, of course, of you is in here as well. Come on, little of. There we go. So that's all ready to go there as well. So that will be delivered to you in a little envelope. So you can look out for that. And I'm going to tell you how to make it. So there's lots of scope patterns for you to choose as well. So let's get on and see what we can do of making it up. So I'm going to pop that to one side for a minute. So as I said, you will get 3 pieces of the turquoise and 1 of the ice blue, and then a selection of the papers to go with it. You get 1 of each of the designs. The only one that's a definite that I need you to put to one side is this one. Now this one is the ice blue-ish colour, all right? It's not actually against the ice blue, so you wouldn't be able to tell that, I'm just going to break these up as well, you wouldn't be able to tell that they were very slightly different, but you need to keep that to one side because that is what I've used for my sentiments panel at the back. Now, you could, of course, because you do have plenty of it, use the ice blue in order to put your sentiment panel on the back. However, what I found was, oh, hold on, sorry. Linda, hello. I'm just looking. You could use your card, but I found that because you're having a piece of card here and then to have another piece on top, it's a bit much, it's too thick, and you need it to be bendy. So I found that by using this piece of paper instead was better. Okay, so that is my choices. So I do need to keep that to one side. So these are my pieces of card. Now to start off with then, I have already gone ahead and I have cut 4 pieces of card to start off with. Now, at our workshop, you may have noticed that some people were saying about it was lovely apart from when we got to 9 5/8. A big joke, but it's all to do with whether we prefer to work in centimetres or in inches. And I'm going to be really brave here today because I'm going to give it to you in both. Now, the one thing with centimetres and inches is that you cannot mix and match the two because you either work in the centimetres or you work in the inches, whichever it is that you prefer to use. So I am going to give you the instructions for both of them. So we have 4 pieces from the turquoise card, which are either 12.5 centimetres by 18 or 5 inches by 7 inches. Okay, so those pieces are all done and dusted, and then I have scored each one of them along the short edge. You can perhaps see that score line down the middle, basically in the middle. So it's either at 6.3 centimetres if you're working in centimetres, or 2.5 inches if you're working in inches. Okay, so that's those pieces. Then I'm going to take another piece of my card. So I cut those out earlier so that we didn't have to disturb those. Let's put my thinking of you there. So then I'm going to take another piece, the 3rd piece of turquoise card, and I'm going to cut a piece here. Now I actually was working in inches. So, but I'm either going to cut a piece which is 12 centimetres by 15 centimetres or 5 inches by 6 inches. Now I should say at this point that all of these measurements will be sent to you by email when you get the card. So you don't need to worry about writing down any of these measurements or anything. So this piece is, as I said, 12 centimetres by 15 or 5 by 6. Then I'm going to turn it around the wrong way. And because I've got my score piece on here as well, I'm going to score this at either 1 centimetre and 11 centimetres or 1/2 inch and 4.5 inch. So I'm going to do it by inches. So I'm doing 1/2 inch either side, really, is what I'm doing. Okay, so that gives me score lines on those pieces there. And I'm also going to cut, I'll cut those in a second. There are some other pieces that need to be cut by the card, but let's get all of the elements cut together first. So let's take some of our papers. Now, as we said, this paper here, which is the plain piece, we need to cut this one. Hold on, let me get my measurements here. Oh. We need to cut this piece at either in centimetres, 9.5 by 14.5, or in inches, 3 3/4 by 5 3/4. So I'm going to do that bit. So 3 3/4 by 5 3/4. And that is going to be for my sentiment panel. So I'm keeping that to one side with this piece. So that's all ready to go. Then I'm going to choose my papers. So as we said, we've got lots of choice with colours and patterns. They go together so well. So you've got this sort of like mint green stroke ice blue. Then you have also got this lovely lilac-y colour. So I'm going to have a choice of, I'm going to put in some of my sort of tartan mix, I think. And then I'm going to mix that with some of my hearts. Yeah, I think I shall go with that. Now, I possibly might need a bit more. I will need a bit more. We'll need one more. Which one should we go for that? Or the dotty? We'll go for that, Dotty. Okay, so that's all my bits included. So now we need 8 panels altogether. We're going to have 2 of them are going to be the same, and I'm going to put that at the front. So they're all going to be cut the same, but from the same piece of paper, and the others will alternate a bit. So these are going to be the 2 for the 2 front panels, but they're all the same size. If we're working in centimetres, they're 5.5 by 17.5. If we're working in inches, they are 2.25 by 6 3/4. So I'm just going to measure that piece first. So 6 3/4. And turn that round, 2.25 and 2.25. I'm just taking this line to the 2.25 piece. Okay, so that's 2 pieces, and they will be for the front panels, the ones that will be shown here. Okay, and then my other 2 pieces of paper, I'm going to cut them all down to 6 3/4. Just make sure that if you've got a pattern like this one is, that they're going to be the right way round when you put them there. So their hearts need to be upright, not sideways. Look a little bit silly. So this one I will cut into 3 pieces, all of them at 2 1/4. Okay, so we've got plenty there. So 3 pieces like that. And then I will grab my beautiful, I love this one, the tartan. Doesn't matter which way around this one is, because it is right all the way around. So trim that down to the longest measurement, which is 6 3/4, and then trim that into 3 pieces, which are 2 1/4 in width. Okay, so there's my 3 pieces. So let's assemble that part so that we've got that one all ready to go. As I said, bringing in these, we have got a score mark, if you can just about see that, halfway through. Okay, I'm just going to gently fold all of those inwards. 2 at a time. It's not such a big deal, dear. And so that's your 4 panels. Okay, so we do all those first. So as we said, We're going to take our 2 pieces, which are exactly the same, and that's going to be for the front of our card. And I'm going to then simply stick these down onto there. Take some glue. Whoops. Now this is the bottle that I've taken the pin out of the top so that it's not the fine nozzle. I just want this one, whoops, to be the a little bit, if you see what I mean. I don't want the fine nozzle there. I just want to be able to go with the flow. So we pop that one in. You will obviously take a little bit more time than I do, but that is the first panel done. Now our other panels, I'm going to alternate them a bit. So I'm going to put on one side the hearts, and on the other side I'm going to put the tartan effect one. So because they are quite random patterns, of course, but because they're all in the same group, they do still look really lovely. So I'm going to just alternate this round. I'm going to have the tartan on the other side as such, although you can't turn it upside down because you've got the hearts. So just playing about. Okay. So I hope you're all really well. I know some of you aren't. I know Hazel's struggling today, so I hope you're doing all right and you get yourself sorted, Hazel. Not a good move. And I know that we've got people on holiday. And did I see that it's pouring with rain in Australia? Well, it's not here for a change. I'm glad you love the nails. Thank you. I'm loving them too. Now you have got to be looking out on Wednesday. So Wednesday, talking of nails, Wednesday, I'm going to be here at 6 o'clock. And I'm going to have new nails done. Now they're going to be a bit random. I have to say they are random because next weekend we're going to see my lovely little grandson. And I'm having my nails done especially for him because he is into nails. Well, he likes looking at my nails. And I'm going to do something very special just for him. Okay. Oh, yeah. So watch out. Wednesday evening at 6 o'clock, you'll see what we've done. I'm having them done in the afternoon. So, yeah. What was I going to say? Where did I see that? Kathy said, I'm doing very well doing inches and centimetres, or centimetres and inches. Yeah, I reckon I am as well, actually. Okay, so now we're going to stick these pieces together. So they all need to be sort of like folded in, and I will get my bone folder just to give that a nice crisp line now that I've added my pieces of card onto it. And I'm going to get these all done like that as well, and we're just going to stick these together. Okay, so first of all I shall pop some glue onto here, and I will just make sure I put them down on the flat, just make sure that they are absolutely square to each other, and just fold that down. Okay, and I'm going to fold that over, and then I'm going to take the other side here and I'm going to do the same again. So I'm going to take my pattern piece and I'm just going to hold them up together so that we know that they are absolutely square, and those pieces are there as well. And then I'm going to turn it over and I'm going to put glue on both these pieces. and then simply put this piece, all right way round, because I've got to have the hearts the right way round, straight onto here. And just measure up all those corners so that they are exactly on top of one another. So then we press down. We have then got the front of our card here, and this will be the back of the card, and then we've got all these panels here and here. So it's a nice mixture of all of these cards together. Okay, so pop that to one side and bring in the panel that we made up for the sentiment panel at the back. So first of all, I'm going to attach to the right side, I'm going to attach my piece of paper. Now I'm going to go right to the edges here because I do want to make sure that it will move, and pop that into the center. Now obviously if you don't want to have a sentiment panel on it, you don't have to. You could put another piece of patterned paper on there or anything, but I just thought it was quite nice to have somewhere to do that. We've scored down the edges, so I'm just going to burnish that both sides, and I'm going to use some 9mm power tape or the extra sticky, so you may have red in your stash, but that's all you need to add. I'm going to add that to either side. So one piece there and one piece there. So this card idea, the card design, can obviously be used for any for any piece that you'd like. It can get anything that you like. And we then need to grab a pokey tool and just remove the backing. And that one. And this is going to go onto the back of my card. So this was the front where I've got the two panels that are exactly the same. So I'm going to turn it over completely. It's all folded up. Turn it over completely. And this is going to go straight onto there. So I'm going to hover it over. And then put that down. So that is not quite halfway. And you can see that that is going to lay absolutely flat. Okay, so I'm pressing down on those edges because that's where I've got the glue. There is no glue underneath this bit. It's just on those edges there. But when we then pick it up, we've then got this bendy piece here, which is why we're calling it a bendy card. Bendy with an I decided, as opposed to a Y. So a nice bendy card, which will help to keep it upright, but also you have got then the chance for the sentiment to go on that side. Now we need to go onto this side. And we're first of all going to use our last piece of card that we had left over. We're going to use that to cut out our dies. Okay, so as we said, we've got 4 dies in the pack, and each one of them, like this and like that, it has no cutting edge, so none on the outside, none on the inside. You use this one instead. So I'm going to put those two both together to be able to cut those out at the same time. This is from the turquoise card, and then I'm going to use just this outside die here to cut out a single piece. Move it down there because I still want to use a little bit of that. I'm just placing it into position so that I've got a little bit of a border all the way around for that one, and then just this little circle down here to cut out. Pop it through my machine. Let's see how that one comes through. Now you may need to check it and turn it around because you've always got to check when they come out. So just be careful. So I'm just going to turn it around. Oh, turn it around. You can see it's cut out beautifully. And then our little circle. So I'm going to pop that to one side. Now I do still need that little bit of extra there. So I'm just going to pop that to one side for a minute. Take out that. You can see it cuts out beautifully. It's got a lovely pattern there. So it just needs a few extra bits. Now I'm sure that June and Carol are watching this. Well, hopefully amongst many others, which I can see that you are. And I can see what they're going to do right now. I know what you're thinking, ladies. You are thinking, I could save all those little circles and I could put them into a shaker card. Well, that is exactly what you could do. However, it ain't what I'm going to do. So I am just going to put all those in the bin. Sorry, ladies. Sorry, but I cannot do such a thing. It will take me forever. I cannot be doing things like that. Sorry. So then I'm then going to cut out with my light blue piece of card. I'm then going to cut out. Now you could use, so you still got some scrap. Let me just bring that in. You've still got some scrap from that paper that you could use, but I also found that you needed a bit of a thickness. So I'm going to cut that outer die out on its own. So that's the other way round now. And then I'm going to take that piece with this piece and pop that into the center and cut those two pieces out together like that. Okay, so for this one with the lighter color, we've got that as a solid, that's going to be, so that's the background, and that one just like that. And again, pop that through your machine. And just double check before you completely remove it all, but you can see that that's cut out really well, so that's good. And again, if you wanted your shaker, you've got lots of little pieces there too. Just a few pieces. Oops, it's my pokey tool. Just a few pieces. So you have got a fair amount of card left over there, so you could do more of these beautiful aerial dies. Okay. I will sort out those dies later and take all those bits out. Let's take this to one side. Okay, so hopefully you can see how this is going to go. That this little beauty is going to sit over the top of that, and then this one over the top of that. So I've sort of alternated them so that they are going to show up one on top of another. Now for quickness, I'm going to pop them into my spray box and stick them on, these two on like that, having sprayed them. But obviously you could easily do these with ordinary glue. It's just your choice. So let's just spray these up. That one is going to go on top of here. I'm just going to line up down the bottom. Pieces like that. And I knew that I would do that. Did you think I would do that as well? The second I lay it down, I see that there's a little rogue one. I wanted to come and stay forever. Put that in, turn it over the other way so I can give it a real good press down. Beautiful. It would also look lovely in so many different colours. It's almost like a flower, isn't it, that you could layer up, but yeah. So let's pop this one on. Now I think that I've poked all the bits out, but as you know, you'll put it down and that'll be the time that you'll realise you haven't. I think I have. Looks promising. And then just press that hard down from the other side. So as I said, I've used ordinary spray glue, but you could use ordinary glue, no problem. Now, just when you thought she's not used any foam yet, I've got to, I'm afraid, but you don't need to. You could pop that down completely onto there. It wouldn't be a problem, but it wouldn't be me if I didn't have to put just a little bit of foam onto the back just to raise this up a little bit. Although, to be honest, there's enough rising going on this card altogether, but you've got to please me, haven't you, really? A little bit of extra glue onto there, and then that little beauty into the centre of there like that. So we need to then also pop our sentiment together. So that's going to go there. The only trouble with the spray glue is I do tend to get it on my fingers. Me and glue, we fall out. We do fall out. So let's do it with this one. So I've got very sticky fingers. Not a good move. So I'm just going to pop with the fine line. I don't know if I can get it started. Just going to put the little bits of glue onto the back of this. So that we can put it there. You could use, obviously, you could use your spray glue. You can use your glue glaze. You can use all sorts. But, oh, I've got to be quiet when I'm doing that. I've got to concentrate. Beautiful font with a lovely dropped shadow. It's called Noble Shadowed Sentiments. Oh, things falling off the table. And that one goes on there. I have put some of the other ones that are in this range. Now, there are quite a few in this range that are actually very big. And these are, those ones are so big that they're sort of like, that's where the whole of the card would be your sentiment. But these ones, I think, just lend itself to being done like this. So the ones that I have put on the Facebook Live section, they are all this sort of size font. So as I said, there are variety ones. If anyone wanted any of those, they are available. And if you're new to me and thinking, well, where do I get this? What is she talking about? All of these are over on the Maximum Crafts with an S.com website, and you will find all of the kits and bits and pieces that we are talking about. So I'm going to put them to one side. We just need 2 small pieces of card. I'm going to take it from here. Let's put this lid on, because you know what happens, don't you? That is a crucial point. Put the lid back on. Otherwise, your non-stick and your non-clog glue will clog if you allow the air to get to it. And that pin is the idea behind it all. So I just need, from this sort of scrap of paper card, I'm going to bring in my little guillotine for this. So let's just put these. I need one piece that is either 8 centimetres by 2.5 centimetres, or if we're working in inches, 2 3/4 by 1 inch. Okay, so we'll cut that piece out first. Let me see which way around we're going to go. I think we'll go around that way. So 2 3/4, 2 and that's wrong way. 2 3/4 by 1 inch, by 1 inch. Gosh, I'll get it right in a minute. 2 3/4 by 1 inch, and then another one slightly smaller, go by 1 inch again. I'm trying to save card, that's all. This piece is 2.5 by 1 inch, or 7.5 centimeters by 1 inch. So 2.5. I've just taken a tiny little slither. Okay, so 2 little pieces. Now I should have cut them out on my scoreboard because I need to score them. I need to score both of these pieces at each end, either by a centimetre in or 1/4 of an inch in, depending on which way. Now, because I'm using, let's bring this in, because I'm using this one, I can go with my little tiny increments on this side, which I prefer to do. So I'm going to turn it over and score on the wrong side at 1/4 of an inch for these 2 pieces. 1/4 of an inch, and if you're doing it as a centimetre, you need to do it round the other way. Sorry, I'll get it right in a minute. Yeah, 1/4 of an inch. And with this one as well. And these are going to be our other bendy cards, our other bendy pieces. So I need some more power tape on these little pieces here, and for that I'm going to go to the 3mm, just to bring these bits in. I'm going to turn that over and put that on the right side on these pieces. Piece there, and a piece here. Oops. I do hope I haven't complicated you even more by giving you a choice of doing inches and centimetres. It's really quite funny when you know, everybody over in this country, it is a little bit ridiculous that we have got both still. In all honesty, I think that's what the problem is, that we've got both. But the rest of the world doesn't have centimetres. Well, I say that. Have some. Yeah, they must have, mustn't they? They must have. One piece larger than the other. The smaller piece is going to be for our sentiment to go on. So I'm going to fold over those pieces there. So that's our bendy pieces, okay? And I'm going to attach the sentiment to this. Now, when I do that, obviously you are going to see a little bit of this behind it, which is why it's cut out of the same colour, because then when we put the two together, you can hardly see what that backing piece was. You do, however, of course, need to make sure that when you're putting it on there, you're putting it so that this piece slots in just behind the bottom of the G, and then you've got plenty of room. And I'm going to be putting glue between the I and the N, really, I suppose. So I can take this one slightly thicker and just put a little dob onto the back there, so that sits in there like that, leaving the G hanging over the edge and the T and half of the H on the other side hanging over the edge. And then this piece, I'm going to put the glue on the top of it rather than the bottom. Too much glue went on there, I think. And then I need to make sure that that U is not overlapping the bottom of the G there. And then just straighten that up a little bit. Okay, give that chance to set a little bit. And then we're going to fold over these pieces here. And that is going to go onto the back of our aerial, like that. So I'm going to pop that sort of more or less into the middle. This will allow it to bend a bit. Now, don't forget, they will be put down flat, okay? But you don't need to, I should say, put the glue on first. You don't need to worry about how it's going to bend or anything, because it just does it. There isn't a right way or wrong way. I'm just going to pop that into the center of my aerial, and then making sure that my two flaps are closed down. Then going to pop that onto the center, just making that pop out there. Okay, so you can see now that we've got that movement. And then we're going to bring this one over, and that one is going to go just down there across that central line. So I'm just going to take off the two pieces here. One piece there, one piece there. Now, the good thing of doing a card like this, but doing it on YouTube, is you can play this back, whoops, at any time that you like. You can stop and start it, and you will have all of the centimeters and inches as your bits and pieces as you go along. Okay, whoops, bring that in. So there you go. There is our card. So you have got your card kit, will include all of the card that you needed, all of the papers. It will include the die for you to be able to cut out lovely aerial. And it also will include a little pack with your thinking of you for your sentiment. Now, obviously, you may want to change it, and you may want to do your own sentiment. But of course, you have got plenty of your, well, scraps, but you'd only need that for a sentiment. You have got more than enough of your turquoise card and your loads of this, of your ice blue card, to be able to change it into a sentiment that you might wish instead. But just so that you have got a sentiment, you've got that to go with it. Okay, and then over on the back there, the only thing, as I said, that I would really strongly recommend that you do is your plain piece of paper, which is the sort of ice blue colour. That should be the piece that you put on the panel at the back, because otherwise you've got too much card going on there. So then when you have finished, you can then take an a 5x7 piece of an envelope, and carefully popping that into there. Sorted. I'll bring in this one so that you can see it again. But that just fits in there completely flat, and yet has a huge amount of give to it. You've got a showstopper, really, isn't it? I think, anyway. So there you go. That is our March kit for you, a bit like that, which includes this beautiful die set for you to keep and use. And then, oh, crash my all up. You have got your papers, you have got your card, you have got that card as well. So you've got loads of choice there. So they are all available over on the website. Now, they will be available for at least a week. So although this is called the March card kit, they do tend to sell out really, really quickly. But I am promising you, she says hopefully, that they will be available for at least the first week. So if you are watching this, you know, kind of like in the future type of thing, I can't promise you it would still be in stock. But hopefully it will be in stock for you to be able to purchase if it is something that you would like. So I will be back on Wednesday evening, new nails. And don't get excited though, because to be honest, unless you're 2.5, they probably don't mean anything to you. But yeah, or unless it doesn't work out, we won't be having them at all. But anyway, hopefully it will. Hopefully it will. So that's on Wednesday at 6 o'clock. nails and YouTube Live. And I will also be back, well, kind of. I will be back for you next Sunday. Now, what I'm going to be showing you next Sunday is the bow maker. It's not a new bow maker in any shape or form, but we were just talking a little while ago in one of the workshops about how we would make some bows. That will be a recorded, because I will be with my grandson then. So, or hopefully, all being well, that we're not snowed in. But it will be there at 11 o'clock on Sunday. So I hope that you can join me at any stage. It's always lovely to see you. Thank you so much again for the ladies that joined me on the workshop yesterday. Next one of that is April the 15th, just after Easter. So look out for that coming on board if anyone else would like to join us. Thank you so much. Take care, everyone. Sorry to have kept you so long. Have a great afternoon, because it is nearly now, isn't it? And take care. Thank you. Bye.